we're late going to France. What of it? I've been there before, kinda. She's actually, like, been there, but that's besides the point. I'm wearing this in remembrance of the robo-snail attacks in Paris from that one time that Rugrats were in Paris.
They were in Paris, along with somebody
Reptar
else.
saved everyone. So I guess we'll say what Poland's were, because that's what we would have done had we done this on time. So the weirdest was the butter and salt chips. I think that's what it got the last time it was in a box. Second best was the lemon cream cookies. Best was Monster Munch.
Well, we're moving on to France. Specifically, away
This is supposed
we go
to be
to France.
The February box, we understand that. This month's box will probably be here a week after we're recording this.
Bonjour from France. Ah, France. The land of dreamy Parisian cafes, vast provincial lavender fields, and of course, some of the best cuisine in the world. A lot of history and culture to dig into here, from iconic fashion trends to Manet's world-famous paintings that led to the art world into a new era. With so much to explore, we're certain that France will leave a good impression. Get it? Impression. Manet's impressionist painting style. We'll see ourselves out.
Is mayonnaise a painting style?
Mayonnaise is a painting style.
No, I'm not saying all French people are mean, but when I went, this one person came up to me and my friend, spat at our feet, and said, "You filthy Americans." And we didn't even do nothing to him. We were just walking by him. It was a him. And that's it. That's all I gotta say.
I think that's made up.
It's not made up.
I think you dreamed that. That was for sure in one of the Rambo movies. And you do often confuse your life with the life of John Rambo. Yeah. Pure butter sables. Butter biscuits that have made the French swoon since 1888. Freeze! Before you try this famous French shortbread, you should know the main ingredient is sand. The main ingredient is sand. We know! Let us explain. Sables are centuries-old cookies made by rubbing cold butter into flour and sugar to form tiny particles of dough. Given the dough's striking resemblance to sand, these golden breadcrumbs came to be called sables, the French word for sand. So yes, these delectable cookies are made with sand, but not the beaches of the French Riviera kind. The very buttery and very edible kind. Now, why is this so long? I'm coming in heated on this box already. It says 1888 right on it. The year of our country's birth.
Yeah, that's a butter cookie. Mm-hmm. This one just says 1888 on it.
Well, it's special because they rolled cold butter into flour and sugar.
I was in culinary arts.
The butter cookies suck every time. So that's a thumbs down coming right out the gate for me. I can't stand those things.
I'm gonna say okay because I like butter cookies.
Me too.
It's just another butter cookie though.
We got the goat cheese and Espelette chili potato chips. Could you believe us, or would you believe us? If we said that these chips double as Christmas decorations? Long before the poinsettia became synonymous with holiday spirit, French homes would be decorated with bright green, red, and yellow peppers. While the edible decorations went out of style in the 1900s, folks in France's Basque region still go out of their way to celebrate the pepper by way of food festivals and, yes,
the essence of the show.
Decorations. Let's not forget our favorite way to celebrate this super smoky pepper in this delightfully savory potato chip.
If I wasn't looking at this bag, I wouldn't believe you that there's supposed to be a pepper on here.
There's a lot of flavors happening right now, all at the same time.
The smell really threw me off.
No,
because
get away for the...
My aunts would sell goat cheese. They would send goat cheese from Mexico to my mom. And my mom would be like, "Oh, here, have some." And I hated it. I did not like how it tasted, and I didn't like how it smelled. And so this is what this smells like, because it's goat cheese. But it was good.
I mean, it's not...
You don't say so it's bad?
There's not really any spiciness to it. So it's not that kind of pepper, I guess.
I didn't think the flavor was all that strong.
Yeah. I mean, it's not great, but it's not breaking my heart either. I'm strongly middling on this chip.
I think I'm going to say not, because it's supposed to be this flavor, but I don't really taste it. I mostly just taste the base potato chip. And that's a problem potato chips can have, is that you'll taste the potato
so much
over
potato. How long are we going to continue to let potatoes steal the limelight of the snack world? Go out and burn every potato you can find, and then don't eat it.
Nope, never mind. I don't like the aftertaste.
You're getting an
You're out.
aftertaste.
Salute. Sweet, chewy, with a touch of tartness. Do you love strawberries? Hell yeah, brother. You have France to thank. French royals were the first to farm the fruit back in the 14th century, with King Charles V boasting 1,256 strawberry plants in his garden. Then, in the late 18th century, it was also France that crossbred two New World strains, the virgin strawberry and the chili strawberry, to create the modern strawberry that the whole world knows and loves today. But don't say merci just yet.
Don't try to do that.
We've got one more French strawberry innovation to be thankful for. This sweet, chewy, and positively delightful strawberry is truly the pinnacle of progress.
These are not supposed to be this hard.
It's not as chewy, that's for sure.
I've gotten this before. It was not this hard.
We got a bad spat.
It was when I forgot about it and it sat there for a couple weeks and I finally tried to eat one. This is really hard to chew.
It's not as chew.
I mean, it's got that strawberry candy flavor.
It does taste like a strawberry candy, but I think it's about to break my tooth. If it was meant to be chewy, that probably would have been an okay. But the fact that I'm going to sit here on it, I'm about to spit it out.
I was like, I'm working way too hard on this.
Oh man, and it's got that weird, like, coating my mouth kind of feeling afterwards.
If that was actually...
That's 2 French thumbs down. Cake roll with raspberry filling.
This is a very reflective...
Stop! You violated the law! Before you bite into this cake, smell it.
I smell most of the things we're about to eat.
Just like juicy raspberries, right? While you might consider anything resembling cake firmly in the dessert category, this particular confection is a little bit different once you get to France. Fluffy raspberry roll cake like this is typically not as dessert, but for breakfast. And to that we say stop! And think about having this cake for tomorrow morning instead. Or just ignore tradition and eat it now.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you, it is breakfast.
We have these for breakfast when we do them. Because there's no way I'm ending my day like this unless I absolutely have to. I think I've had to yum box lunch before. Would mostly try for breakfast. I had to do it for dinner a couple times. I actually like that.
Me too.
It was kind of just like a little pancake.
No, especially like to eat as breakfast. I'd eat that as a breakfast.
Yeah.
It was like a little rolled up pancake. Or, as the French would say, a crepe.
Oh.
We're on to chocolate chip cookie truffles. Decadent dark chocolate with cookie pieces. When Marie Antoinette married Louis XVI in 17, she moved her entire life from Vienna to the Palace of Versailles, including her personal chocolate maker, who was given the new title Chocolate Maker to the Queen. Knowing this, it might not be surprising that Marie was famous for having sweets first thing in the morning, with breakfast featuring cups of rich hot chocolate and tons of cookies. Literal tons. Thousands of pounds of cookies. We're not saying you should eat these truffles for breakfast, but we're also not saying that.
Again, we are having them for breakfast. Idiots. I love me a good truff. It's
Hell
all
yeah.
about the truffles.
Yeah.
I will say that was more enjoyable than the popcorn one.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was super good.
Like, the crunch of the cookie was much more satisfying than the one with the popcorn.
Yeah. That's a solid 8.5 out of 10 for me, dog.
Top truffles of all truffles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Every day I'm truffling.
It's not. This isn't next, but y'all gave us the thing I was just talking about a second ago here.
Fleur
I'm not
de
even getting a
sel
close-up
meets
of this.
buttery sweetness.
It's what you think it is.
Salted caramel is so popular, you might think it's been around forever. But in reality, it was not created on the first day with Adam and Eve. Humans figured out space travel before they figured out this now iconic flavor. It was only in the year 19 that confectioner Henri Leroux debuted the first salted caramel made with Brittany's famous sea salted butter. By the year 19, it was voted the country's best candy. And by the year 20, it had gone global, with Haagen-Dazs and Starbucks debuting salted caramel products. With this yum, you'll understand why this French flavor has stuck around quite literally. There were astronauts in space before this flavor existed.
There's a reason when they talk about the moon landing and not this.
I don't like this. I ate the whole thing, but I don't like it. I don't want salt and caramel to be flavors together.
Really?
Correct.
I like salted caramel.
Me too.
As candies, I don't like getting caramels, but I like the flavor. So if it's like in a chocolate or a brownie or something, that's how I like it.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
Desiccated French chocolate. That's not what that word means. With bits of toasty popcorn. According to legend, some legends say, this yum came about by accident. In 1920s Paris, confectioner Auguste Escoffier was making a pastry creme when he accidentally poured hot creme into the wrong bowl. A bowl filled with chocolate. Rather than bidding the melty chocolate adieu, he experimented.
That's it. I mean, it's still good. That popcorn flavor really pushes through. It's weird. You don't think it would do that with such like a rich chocolate surrounding it. I still like it. I think the only time I had a negative reaction to it was like the first time we got the popcorn truffle. And it's just grown on me by this point. And just because I like the truffles. The only one that bothers me is the one that had the raspberry in it or something.
I don't like the popcorn flavor being combined with chocolate.
It's weird how strong it is inside of that.
Because like at first, chocolate assails my tongue and I'm having a good time. And then I, continue on this journey and suddenly I've got popcorn all up in my mouth.
Has to watch last episode to understand
I'm
this.
flipping back and forth. And it took me for a roller coaster ride that I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Judge Roy scream of candies. And for that, I'm going to give it a no.
Understandable.
Crunchy, earthy, and garlicky zing. Zut alors! How can you govern a country which has 246 varieties of cheese?
How can you manage that?
These words were famously spoken by France's former president Charles de Gaulle, who served from 19 to 19. And France's cheese obsession has only grown since then. Today, there are a whopping 1,000 varieties from soft, creamy Camembert to tangy Roquefort to Kazyu Metsu, a Corsican cheese infamous for containing live worms. You can see why locals eat 60 pounds of cheese per year, unless you're still caught up on the worm thing. But don't worry, there are no worms to be found in these crunchy bagel bites. Or are there?
Dun dun dun.
I just want to point out, y'all do this thing, Yums, where you try to like compare snacks from other countries to other ones. Goat cheese chips and compared it with the garlic and parsley bruschetta bites from Italy.
Oh no.
When there's literally this,
Yeah.
that's an actual bread chip.
It's just irresponsible the way that you compare these yums. And like, someone should be holding you accountable. You can't keep getting away with this.
You need like one more person to like check the quality of what you're putting together. I'm not saying you need a better graphic design. You need a better person making the options. I'm
I
available.
found a worm in mine.
What are we saying? Good?
I like it.
Yeah, I'd eat the whole bag.
If left unattended in a corner, hobbled over, much like Gollum.
Yeah. 47% dark chocolate with sea salt. Smooth cocoa flecked with fleur de sel. Flowers on V-Day? Overrated. But fleur de sel? Swoon. Fleur de sel is the so-called caviar of sea salts. I'm something of a caviar myself.
I'm something of a sea salt myself.
Formed when seawater evaporates and leaves behind delicate salt flowers. That's what I called my daughter, my delicate little salt flower. Trained workers called paladiers use special wooden rakes called luce à fleurs, zut alors,
Lucifers?
to collect them. Since even the most productive salt marshes only produce 2 pounds per day, the process is slow and expensive, but worth it since mineral-rich fleur de sel is longer lasting and saltier than ordinary salts. When blended with a decadent dark chocolate, it makes for a chocolate experience unlike any other, as you're about to find out. I don't want salt with my... Why are you doing this to me, friends?
I'm not the biggest dark chocolate fan.
I actually like the
But
salt.
this is very enjoyable.
It melt on my tongue.
That's probably the worst way to eat that, by the way, if you don't like it. I like the dark chocolate, and I like the salt in there. It makes it spiky. I don't know what I mean by that.
I do know what you mean. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but I wouldn't go get more. So I'm going to give it an okay. If you're into salt, if you're a salty boy, go ahead and get yourself a box of these, or get them for your girl or guy. I'm not going to judge you for V-Day.
Not out loud.
But I'm not going to go. They're not selling out because of me.
I just found some salt in my teeth.
Salty teeth.
My salty teeth in me. Salty teeth, salty teeth.
Garlic aioli potato chips. You might be thinking to yourself, I love garlic and I love aioli, but what can I do if there's not a chip? Well, guess what? Your worrying days are over, friend. You now have a chip that has both garlic and aioli. Aioli.
I've got this one before.
And when it's served with boiled veggies like green beans, carrots, and potatoes.
You know, I think I had
That's
the
not
goat
a
cheese one
sentence.
before, too.
When Ash Wednesday comes around, that already happened, aioli is served with poached cod.
I remember this one. I just realized, I think I have gotten the goat cheese one before. And I think I had the same response to it. But if I remember, I think it was slightly spicier last time, so I think the chip batch just wasn't that great or something.
That is garlic
But I remember
aioli
this.
on a potato chip. That is strong.
And I like it. With a nice set of French barrettes.
I mean,
I like the bags.
boy, I don't know how I feel about this.
I love it.
These are solid
Oh,
bags.
look at the chippies.
I'm like between a yes and a maybe.
Yaby.
Yep. Rabies. Sour cherry hard candies. Taste the Serret Cherry Festival. Our next stop is the southern edge of France to a town called Serret. You may not have heard of it before, but any French person will tell you that the best cherries come from here. In fact, the fruit is so prized that every year since 1932, the first crate is sent directly to the President of France. You can get in on the fun yourself with these sour cherry candies, but be warned. My God, that's sour. Yeah.
This is a little weird to have right after garlic.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I can't get enough. I can't get enough of this. It's blowing me away.
I'm not too big on the cherry, but I like the sour on that.
Finally, something over the top good in this box. 100 times over yes to that. Oh, that just rejuvenate. Like, I was on the verge of quitting the channel before that right there. I really was. I had typed up my resignation letter and everything, and now I'm back.
I'm not 100% when it comes to cherry flavored things. Kind of like how you had your soap thing.
Yeah.
For me, I had a lot of cherry flavored medicines when I was a kid, and that just kind of ruined cherry flavoring and most other things for me.
Sure.
I would have liked this more if it was a different fruit flavor. So I'm just gonna give it okay. But I like the sour on that. And like flavor wise, it is working. It's cherry. So I'm not happy about that.
I liked it so much I almost choked on it. The Orangina citrus soda.
That's where oranges come from. That's not even really a joke right there. Look, it's right there before your eyes.
There are 3 things you need to know before
so
you
small.
take your first sip of Orangina. They can't. I can't take this seriously. Everything I'm about to say is about to have to get bleeped out. So, do I say it or not?
That wasn't satisfying.
No, it wasn't. That's not very carbonated, is it?
Is this just orange juice?
Well,
Bon appetit.
to gunpowder, and Orangina. We live by one and die by the other and love the smell of both.
Oh, that's the candy. I was like, what are you chewing?
My teeth.
You gotta cut that joke out.
Oh, it is carbonated.
Lightly.
It didn't look like it was. So
It's got a slight fizz.
Yeah.
It's like a low fizz orange Fanta.
I would say that's actually quite pleasant.
But without the weird orange fake food coloring that most orange sodas feel like.
That's actually what it
have.
says without color. Fruit juice concentrates of oranges, lemon, mandarin, and grapefruit.
Well, we've experienced Orangina now, and I don't know that
You
it.
can never go back.
I mean, I was gonna say I think I can go back, but it's tasty.
Just a little
that
bit
that
left.
little bit of fizz was good. It wasn't overwhelming, and I'd have it again. So I'm gonna give Orangina one thumb up.
If I hadn't had to share the can for everyone to experience it, I would maybe like the size of this.
Yeah,
Because I had to share it, I was a little
it
disappointed.
looks teeny tiny in my giant hand. So
Can we call over Shaq real quick? Get him.
yeah, just have him go.
He gives a thumbs up.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're gonna go to.
Well, now I'm upset that we didn't end on the drink, and now I'm just confused.
Yep. And we're gonna
Lost.
go to France's famous mustard with a touch of sweetness.
I finally got focused now.
If there's one thing the French know how to do is to take
Speak
something
French.
nice like mustard and somehow make it hoity-toity by combining it with honey and a chip.
Do you not like honey mustard?
Honey mustard is hoity-toity. Get off of your ivory tower up there with your honey mussy and your chicken tendies.
I don't like honey mustard.
Don't ever say honey mustard around me again. I like honey
Is it
mustard.
triggering you? You want the honey mussy?
After Orangina,
Yeah, I do too.
I like it on a burger, a nice sandwich. Maybe occasionally
I was
a
not
hot
lying,
dog.
I don't like honey mustard. This chip is good though.
I'll dip
I enjoyed it.
into some honey mustard.
The dip.
I will say I've gotten one honey mustard. I don't remember the brand. It sucked because it just tasted like Dijon mustard with honey rubbed over it, not mixed in, rubbed over. I liked it though, and I think Bryan does too. But I only think. I can't be certain.
I love them. Take everything back that I said about honey
You
mussy.
want that honey mustard?
I can't do this.
I'm already filling Brian's section of the little thing.
You know,
But what if this is the one that redeems all cookies for him?
Okay. He does like lemon.
I'll say the
so-
lemon might
every
shine.
time I say that though, it fails me.
This is the thing that's in the half boxes. They just stuck two of them to make a long box.
Anyway, these are buttery cookies with the lemony fragrance. And
Well,
let's take
anyway.
a minute and say merci to Western France, because
It's an
without
idiot.
that region, there's no way this month's box would even exist. Western France has given the world crepes and madeleines and pound cakes.
the same
And one of
as
the most famous yums of all, butter pellets. These may look like ordinary shortbread cookies, but they're far from it. They have delicate flavor, crumbly texture, and touch of saltiness. God. Saltiness. Make one delectable ingredient, French butter. It's the pride of Western France. It's a staple that baked into all signature treats. I figured that out by now.
Oh yeah, this is gonna upset you.
And you'd butter believe they're about to be your favorite.
I will say this is probably my favorite yum out of all of them so far.
Really?
Like I've liked the other ones, but I really like this one. Like just give me some milk, I'm gonna be happy.
I do like it. I was thrown off by the after salt. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't know why I thought these were gonna be filled.
Why can't I just go back to the honey mustard chip?
Life was better, simpler even.
Remember when I was on top of the world like 30 seconds ago? Remember those good times that we had together in the past? Just like we were just kids, you and me, and we didn't know any better. We had our whole lives ahead of us.
This is the way of the French.
And then France ruined everything. Like that cut at the roof of your mouth that would heal if only you could stop touching it with your tongue. Don't let that rattle you. Bools!
Is that all it says?
Ooh, okay, my little bonbon.
These are also very hard.
Okay. Hold my hand while we do this. Yep. What is this supposed to taste like? Caramel?
Yeah. Why would they do a caramel bonbon though? When caramel just kind of does this.
It just says bools. There's no way to know what it's supposed to taste like. Oh, I finally got to the caramel part.
Flavor's like gone now.
Boors.
I just have one observation. Goes to France, just walks into any like convenience store, shop, It goes in bulls, leaves.
Refuses to elaborate.
Again, crappy format to eat it. Why is it in a big bag like this? Like, am I supposed to like do these by the palm?
That's the kind of thing that like you would open this bag and pour it into your glass dish that you keep on your nightstand when you're 96 years old in the retirement community and your grandkids see you one time a year and they go, "I've got some candy for you."
Why does he have Sonic eyes?
Because he's bold.
Je ne l'aime pas.
Yep.
Yeah,
Did not like this, is what she said.
it's a no from me.
I'm gonna go with a okay. Jicopa, depuis 1895. The French have actually been enjoying violet-flavored candies since the 19th century. Back then, the entire flower would be coated in sugar and eaten whole, like an animal.
Oh, they look like little flowers.
Candy then evolved over time. It's used as a star ingredient in desserts like pastilles, macarons, and these delectable floral gummy candies. These are made with glucose syrup from wheat and or corn, sugar, cornstarch, citric acid,
That do be tasting like a flower.
carnauba wax, sodium citrate, artificial flavors,
like-
fruit juice for color, and wheat starch. It contains wheat and no violet.
It's like I went to Bath and Body Works and asked for a sample,
Oh no.
but I weirdly like it. I remember getting this before though.
Zut alors, that tastes like soap.
It does,
That's a no-go for me.
I weirdly liked it.
Say it in French.
Zut alors, I already said it. Are you ready for a celebration to go nuts for?
Yay!
From October through November, hundreds of chestnut children are held through the country, held hostage, where the nuts are slowly roasted and
must-
devoured by the hungry populace. For hundreds of years, this chestnut festival has gone on to stave off the impending return of the chestnut god, Nuttamus.
So yes.
Well, I can understand why they feel like they have to force feed themselves that to hold off the impending return of Nuttamus, the chestnut god. But I would never eat that again. And not just because it spilled on my pants.
That might be alright on like a sweeter type of cracker. I'm gonna say okay. Because I feel like there is something we could put that on that it would be good.
Yeah, like bread.
I'm also saying okay.
Ooh, that might be nice on toast.
Yeah, I wonder what they put it on to fend off Nuttamus.
I think I had 6 of these, and then there was variants that were similar. So I didn't have a lot of this, so good amount of it was new, but some of it was just here's another flavor of that, or here's a different version of this, like the Brett's chips. The fact that we had a different flavor bonbons. The hard candy, that one I had a different flavor of from that brand.
Now, I will say this. For once, at the end of a box, I don't feel sick to my stomach from how much sugar we just ate.
It was nicer having
It was,
more variety in that front.
and I'm thankful for that. Overall, I'd say I enjoyed the box as an experience, but I did not. I mean, there's a lot of things that were in the box that I gave a no to. So
Yeah.
that is an interesting dichotomy to have.
I'll say-
But, you know, I'm a man of dichotomies, and that's just part of what I bring to the channel. And you know what? We're here to make people laugh/smile. Okay. That's what I'm doing for the world. What are you doing today? Just sitting there watching me. Go do something with your life. What's the
Weirdest!
rankings? What was the weirdest?
Might be the
weirdest
chestnut
thing-
spread,
Oh,
or
yeah.
the flour gummy.
The chestnut spread was a lot more like liquidy than I was. I was expecting
gonna be
it
much
to be more
thicker.
like peanut butter, and it came out watery. Hence why it spilled all over the place.
I'm thinking
So
that, or the
sad.
thing that's supposed to taste like a flour. What do you think?
I'm gonna pick the flour candy because that is just odd.
Okay.
16.
Like, if you told me that chestnut spread existed, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can understand
And then
that
if someone
one.
was like, yeah, but then I made a chew candy out of violets, I'd be like crayons or what? And then it tasted like crayons, so it really wasn't that far off.
Worst. Is there anything we all hated or almost all hated?
Well, we all hated that one.
Number 6, the caramel.
Yeah.
Is it
And
the caramel?
this one was mid for Bryan, but it was a no for me and you.
I
The
feel like
goat
the all
cheese
no
chip?
is the better option.
Yeah, the fleur de sel caramel.
I just don't want to get caramels in little milk fudges from every country. I
Yeah.
don't care.
We're done with them. We said it last time. We said it this time. We're going to say it next time when it happens again. And then we're going to launch a class action lawsuit. And the best one, the favorite one, far and away,
What all did we
was
also-
either the sour candy or the honey mussy chip or orangina.
Just go with the drink.
The drink, I think, is the only one we all agreed on.
Yeah.
No, the truffle. That and the
Oh,
truffle.
the
Those are the
truffle,
only ones we
yeah.
all agreed on a good. And the cake.
number
The cake.
4, yeah.
Well, okay, between orangina and cake, because I'm not going to even entertain that the truffle was the best one. Orangina.
Yeah. I like that a little more. I think I would like the cake more if I had a different flavor. Like if they had other
Like
fruits
strawberry.
they did it with, like a
instead of
strawberry
raspberry.
cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with number 12.
Blackberry.
Oh.
Yeah. But our favorite
Raspberry's not my
was
favorite.
Orangina.
Raspberry and cherries are in that category of fruit. Like, I'll eat it, but I don't like it that much. All right, here's what y'all said, apparently. Weirdest was the goat cheese and chili chips, apparently. Second best was the butter cookie? Just the plain one? Haha, I knew it. The cookie truffle was best. Every time there's a truffle, that gets best.
Every time.
That's what we get for being a week and a couple days late. It's March 9th when we're doing this. Other box has not arrived yet. Trivia train!
Choo choo! Trivia train! Let's all aboard the trivia train. Question number
I still
1.
got it.
Get those things away from me. Felicette is a French cat famous for going to space, eating the first macaron, painting a masterpiece, or ruining Marie Antoinette's wedding dress.
D.
I'll go with D.
I'm gonna say they put this cat in space.
I was gonna say no. I'm gonna go. I want to change to A.
Okay, I'm changing
Nice.
C.
Okay. In 1963, the French space program trained 6 catstronauts. A
Aw.
Persian cat known as C341 was selected for her calm demeanor.
Was it C3?
And in October 18, 1963, they launched that pussy into space. Number 2. Over 100 wild blank
that was.
live in the village of Imansay. Chimps, wallabies, lemurs, or koalas.
I'm not really sure what a wallaby is.
I'm gonna go with wallaby
you know,
just 'cause
like-
it's a funny word.
Wallaby, weff.
I'm gonna go with a wallaby. I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna say it's lemurs.
Lemurs.
Show me lemur! B. Wallabies.
Yay!
Visiting
know what they
Australia or Tasmania might be more standard route to seeing a wallaby in the wild, but the suburbs of Paris will do too. After a group of wallabies escaped from the local zoo in the 1970s, over 100 of the marsupials have thrived in the forests. Number 3. In 1907, Parisian waiters went on strike because their uniforms were ugly. They thought French food was too experimental. They were being paid in crepes, and they weren't allowed to have mustaches.
All of the above.
They weren't allowed to have mustaches. Probably all of the above.
I'm gonna go with they're being paid in crepes.
I like them no mustache ones.
Nobody ever pays me in crepes. D. They weren't allowed to have mustaches.
That was a quarter.
Back in 1907, the mustache was becoming an elite status symbol. To establish a hierarchy between wealthy clientele and staff, restaurant owners forced waiters to shave. Alright, number 4. The French government gives out medals to citizens for voting in every election, raising well-behaved kids, keeping their sidewalks clear, and growing a vegetable garden.
Sidewalk.
I'm going to say voting in every election. The answer is B. The
That can't be real,
Médaille
the
de la
French suck.
Famille Française is an award given to parents who have successfully raised several children with dignity. There are 3 levels: bronze for 4 to 5 children, silver for 6 to 7, and gold for parents with 8 or more. Octomom. In the small town of
Mormons.
L'Hérault, blank is required by law: being polite, eating snails, watching the Tour de France, or fishing.
You have to do this.
It's watching the Tour de France.
Yeah.
In person, there on the side.
Let's go with that.
Well, guess what? We're all wrong. It's being polite. In 2012, the town made being rude a crime, at least when you're in town hall. Citizens are required to say hello and thank you to staff, or else they'll be told to leave. Number 6, more than 50% of France is covered in mountains, forests, farmland, cows.
Cows.
Cows, yeah. I want to say cows.
It's a trick question. It was actually crows. But the answer is C, farmland. When you think of France, you'll likely imagine people walking poodles down the streets of Paris.
No.
Or nibbling a croissant at a local
Croissant?
cafe. But once you venture outside the capital, you'll find acres upon acres of farmland. Number 7, in the classic French tale, Beauty and the Beast, the protagonist is revealed to be A, part fairy, B, descended from royalty, C, switched at birth, or D, suffering from Stockholm Syndrome.
Revealed to be. Is it B? I don't know.
I would
I've
say
never
B.
heard.
It's B and C. Descended from
I see.
royalty and switched at birth. Oh, it's A, B, and C. My bad.
Oh, okay, not quite all of the above. All
What a
above
twist! At the end of the original version by Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve,
B. Oh
my gosh.
Beauty is revealed to be the daughter of a king and the same wicked fairy that cursed the beast. This king and the fairy hooked up?
Yeah.
Alright.
Royalty.
Last question. Number 8. The French dessert Mont Blanc is named after the Alps, Mural Castle, Lake Blanc, or Chef Blanc.
Chef Blanc.
Well, Mont is mountain, so it's got to be A.
That's
right?
what I was saying. It's probably the Alps.
It's the Alps. The highest peak on the Alps, located on the eastern border of France, is known as Mont Blanc, or more literally, White Mountain.
Wow.
That's what they call me.
The White Mountain.
Yep. The popular dessert of the same name is a chestnut puree topped with whipped cream.
Really?
Why does a sweet treat share the name of a famous mountain? Well, the dish itself is meant to look like a snow-capped mountain. While both versions are impressive, we'd sooner take the dessert than the below freezing temps of the Alps. That was the trivia train, and that wraps us up for France.
I would
We
say
all
see you
enjoyed it
next month,
together.
but hopefully we just see you later this month.
We hope that you do too. I hope that you come back, hopefully with a better attitude next time, because I was really not happy with how you were behaving yourself this whole time that we were doing this. You were on your phone, you were not interested in the conversation, and I think that you have the capacity to do better next time. And I know that you will, because you love us, and showing that love means being respectful. Have a good day.
Don't forget the other channels.
How many times am I going to wave and we're going to keep going? Watch the
forget to
other
buy the
channels.
merch.
Buy the merch. Okay, we've got a new Snuggie that just has my face on it right here.
And one
that's
that
it.
just has his face on it.
Yep.
And then one that just has my face on it.
Yep. And then we've got one that you can like flip inside out to switch the faces like in Face Off.
Do you think someone watches this and they've been searching for hours?
They're like, where is the Patreon? I can't give you the money.
I'm trying.
You know what? When we make the plush of you and me, and they can magnetically
Conjoined
kiss, we'll
twins.
launch the Patreon.
And there you have it.
Alrighty. I'm waving for
See
the
you
last
next time. Hopefully this
Bye
month.
bye.
Bye.
I love you. Whoosh.
You're neat, I guess.
It's on it.
Shyboy 606, it's gonna need some more treats. We gotta decide if they need or need the heat. See you again soon. Next time, bring a spoon, put in the work, and then get dessert. Go ahead, come on over. We'll go and get some boba. Some that's fried, some that's green, some that's chilled. Aw, dang, I think something spilled. Alright, waiter, pass the bill. It's